target. Our learning target will cover three things: new driver advice, what makes a good driver, and then the road test. I want you to go ahead and enjoy this. Sit back and relax. Let's go ahead and get it. I'm your host. I'm driving with Myles. I'm a state certified driving instructor in the Midwest. So let's go ahead and talk about this. We're going to hit new driver advice first. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in. The first thing I need you to do is, a lot of beginners do a lot of light traffic driving at first, which is fine. When you're driving through light traffic, I want you to notice the color of the light. I want you to notice where pedestrians are. I need you to notice your speed relative to everyone else. Beginning drivers tend to drive very slow. They're a little bit inconsistent in their speed. So we don't want you to become a hazard. We need you to pick up your speed and drive with the flow of the traffic. Hey, Jackson, how are you? Next, watch while others are driving. Watch your mom, watch your dad, watch me when I do my tutorials. Anyone you can learn from, you need to be watching them. How did they turn the steering wheel? How's their speed control? Are they a defensive driver? Are they running lights? Do they not run lights? Do they have road rage? It's really important that you watch who you are learning from. Our learning target today, we're talking about new driver advice. I'm your host. I'm driving with Myles. I'm a state certified driving instructor. The testing is in progress. You're welcome. Thank you, Bella. I appreciate you. I really do. Let's keep going. Next, you need to continue to study yield and right-of-way at intersections. I did a tutorial yesterday about intersections. Intersections are the most dangerous place. You want to be looking left, middle, right, always looking, always checking. Try not to run a light without slamming brakes. That's the key. If you can go through safely, proceed with caution, but you still could end up getting a ticket if you get comfortable running yellow lights. Next, let's talk about using the Big Five strategy when you drive. What is the Big Five? I'm getting ready to go over it right now. I want you to concentrate. No phone, no text. I know it's hard. We're social. I love to text. You love to text. But you got to put your phone down when you're driving. Driving takes all your focus. Hello, X. How are you? Next, I want you to look into the turns. If you're turning right, I should see you turning your head and looking to the right. If you're turning left, I should see you turning your head and looking to the left. If you have questions, you put them in. If you want to tell me where you're from, you put that in. I'm from the Midwest in the United States. I'm your host. This is me. I'm driving with Myles. I'm a state certified driving instructor. The testing has begun. Our learning target. We're talking about our learning target. We're talking about new driver advice. If I were you, I would be writing this down and putting your questions in. Is it legal to pass on the right? If your car has to leave the pavement, no. Florida in the house. Let's keep going. Look into your turns. If you're making a lane change, you need to check your blind spot. There's a blind spot to my left. There's a blind spot to my right. Look before you make that lane change. Excuse me. Next, when you're backing up, you can use your backup mirror, but also I need you to be aware. You need to check the rules at the airport. You need to check the rules for driving into the United States. They have very strict rules about carrying different things. You don't want to accidentally get arrested by the TSA. They don't play. Next, beginning drivers need a lot of distance. Slow down earlier, slow down sooner. Pick your following distance. It's a car length for every 10 miles an hour. When you're driving, keep room, keep space. Next, don't scare your parents. If you scare your mom and dad, they're not going to want to drive with you anymore. Let's stay focused on our learning target. Our learning target for success, we're talking about new driver advice. These are the things you need to listen to be prepared. I'm a state certified driving instructor from the Midwest. Let's keep going. Next, new drivers don't judge speed and distance very well. You want to stay with the flow of the traffic. Most of the time, if the speed limit is 55, beginning drivers are driving about 40 or 50. You will get caught at yellow lights. You'll get caught at red lights. So I need you to stay with the flow of the traffic. Next, they need a lot of verbal instructions ahead of time. Your mom and dad should be telling you where to go, what to do. So if we're driving 20 miles an hour, you must stay at least 2 cars. Yes, that is right. B, it's a car length for every 10 miles an hour. That is correct. And if you can remember that rule, you'll be okay. No, I got a bad cold, but I'm getting better. But thank you for asking. Let's continue. New drivers don't judge speed very well. They need a lot of verbal instructions. They do not assume they know what they're doing yet. When you're driving, you don't know what you're doing yet. It takes time. Let's continue. Let's go on to what makes a good driving instructor. This is from the student's perspective. Let's go back to our learning target. I always want to remind you, this is focused for beginner drivers. What makes a good driving instructor from the student's perspective? I'm driving with Myles. I'm a state certified driving instructor. We're going to talk about the things that you need to do to get a passing grade on your road test. New drivers need patience. Good instructors are very patient. They're nice. They don't yell at you when you make mistakes. They give directions in advance. For example, I need you to make a right. And then next, I need you to take a left. They use their hands. I need you to make a right turn. I need you to make a left. They don't make last-minute decisions. And if your last-minute decisions are not good, if you're nervous, gradual release. I want to see you start in your neighborhood. I want to see you drive down the block. Stop, yield, look left, look right. Make a beautiful hand-over-hand turn. Hey, from Turkey, how are you? I've been to Istanbul before. I've heard about it. Next, good driving instructors make conversation with you. I know who you are. I know your goals. You want to get your driver's license. They use visual demonstrations. For example, they demonstrate how to sit in a car. They show you how to move your seat so you can see the mirror. In the classroom, they use a steering wheel, returning hand over hand in, hand over hand out. You got to get behind the wheel. You got to punch fear in the face and get behind the wheel. So you always want to be aware of what's going on. Your instructor is your support. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. Remember, our learning objective, learning target, what makes a good driving instructor from the student's perspective. Good instructors are very considerate. Maybe you don't feel really good. Maybe an instructor can support you and help you. Good instructors are kind. They share stories on the concept. They're funny. I have a good sense of humor. I'm always smiling. Good instructors on the road are very calm. They're relaxed. They give you advice to improve yourself. Okay? Next, always remind you to do things constantly. I'm always telling you to get better, whether it's reverse parallel parking, going into a roundabout, making a 3-point turnaround. Good instructors give positive reinforcement. They always tell you what you need to do to get better. And we're always trying to get better. Hey, if this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. They allow you to fix your mistakes and tell you what you're doing wrong. In class, they interact with students. They let you have time to work on your worksheet. They make jokes. They help you figure out things. They use their hands to show you where to look. Our learning target is what makes a good driving instructor from the student's perspective. When you're driving, you need to be thinking about these things that I'm telling you about. And if you have comments or questions, you put them in. If you haven't done so, you need to be subscribing because I'm going live as much as I can to talk about driving, to talk about everything you need. Good instructors make jokes. They make you feel comfortable. There's no awkward silence in the car. In the classroom, they play games. They use physical demonstrations. Bigger cars are good. They protect you. Very good, El. They don't belittle you if you make a mistake. A good teacher is positive and smiling. I'm positive. My smile's from my heart. They allow you to listen to the radio in the car. They talk to you like an adult. That is so important. In the classroom, the teacher is funny and uses diagrams. We're still on our learning target. This is me. Our test session is in progress. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach in the Midwest. Now we're going to talk about the actual road test. You're welcome. And what we need to do. You need to make sure your vehicle is in good working order. The test vehicle, you should be familiar with it. You must show proof of valid insurance, current registration, and license plates for the vehicle. Only the applicant and examiner and any required passenger interpreter may be in the vehicle. If the applicant is a minor, the minor's parent or legal guardian must be in the back seat. Skills tests determine defective equipment, brakes, brake light, fuel level, headlights, defroster, muffler, rear mirror, side mirrors. Your car must have a rear mirror and a side. Yes, in the U.S. This is for the United States. But some of these things do apply in the UK, Australia, and other areas around the world. I'm universal. And I want to thank our brothers and sisters from the UAE, Africa, and Australia. Love you all. Next, you need to make sure your seatbelts work for all applicants. Your tires must be inflated properly. Let's talk about other automatic failures. I need you to stay focused. We're talking about our learning target. This is the actual road test. I'm going over it with you. If you have questions, you put it in. Automatic failures. You disregard instructions. You refuse to perform the maneuver. If your instructor tells you to make a right turn, you go straight, automatic failure. Refusal by a bribe or gratitude. An accident. If you cause an accident, you will have an automatic failure. Traffic violations, hazardous actions, not limited to, listen, an accident is prevented by others. Driving on the curb or sidewalk. Imagine your car hits the curb, jumps on the sidewalk. It happens. Driver creates a serious hazard. You try to make a left turn and you freeze up. You fail to yield, adversely affecting pedestrians or traffic. I had a young lady who was making a left turn. She panicked. It took her 5 minutes to make a left turn. I supported her. Don't laugh. It does happen. Other violations. You fail to yield a right-of-way for a funeral procession. You pass a stopped school bus with the red lights flashing. Think about that. Tips for people just beneath correctly and don't. So, gradual exposure. Drive in the neighborhood. Have your best friend with you in the car if you're over 21. You got to set a personal goal. You will pass. It's a mental mindset, and I will help you. I have training. Fails to stop for a red light or flashing red light or stop sign. That gets a lot of students. Let's go back. This is our learning target. We're talking about the road test. I'm a state certified driving instructor. You need to be listening. You pass improperly. Drive the wrong way on a one-way street. You speed 4 to 9 over the basic speed limit. You speed 10 or more over the speed limit. You follow another vehicle too close. Many of you are still dangerous and inexperienced. I'm just being honest with you. You must obtain a passing score and finish the driving skills test without committing an automatic failure listed below. In addition, an examiner may terminate the test if you exhibit any behavior that demonstrates you may be dangerously inexperienced, out of pocket. For example, the test will be terminated if you can't maintain speed. Drive more than 10 miles under. Operating a manual and you're unable to shift. A lot of our brothers and sisters in the UK. Our learning target. We're talking about the road test. Testing is in progress. I'm driving with Myles. This is me. When driving an automatic vehicle, you're unable to determine the proper gear. You stall the vehicle if you're in a manual and you're trying to go uphill and you stall it. You lose control of the vehicle, causing the examiner to take effect. You need to get a minimum of about 70%. In my area, we need to get 25 or less. Components of the driving test. A failure is any part that terminates testing. The test segments, the vehicle familiarization, basic controls. I'm based in the Midwest. Onboard driving test. Encroachment. If you're parking and you put your car on the line, and I want to show you this. This first one, give me a thumbs up if you can see this. This first one is the stop line. This is our learning target. We're talking about the road test. This is the stop line. If your car goes past this line, you'll get a minus. The second part of the test, you have to reverse. Looks just like this. You have to reverse into this area, not get on the line. You can be sideways. The last area, and this fails most students, is the reverse parallel park. If you can't park your car in these spots, you won't pass. It's really important that you know how to maneuver your vehicle. Let's stay on our learning target. We're talking about the road test. And if you can't do these maneuvers, you can't parallel park. You can't. What are your thoughts on the recent, I don't know about that. I haven't checked. I'll check it out. Stop line. You get a minus past the stop line. And then the last one, you got to reverse park. Let's talk about the test skill requirements. I love the questions. Keep them coming. Driving skills test requirements. Although every driving test route may not be identical, each route will contain a similar maneuver, equalizing the difficulty for any route approved by the state or county or country. Every route will attempt to contain the following: left turns with varying difficulty, right turns with varying difficulty, intersections that involve stopping, then driving straight through, intersections that involve straight through without stopping, expressway or rural highway, lane changes required, urban or resident, changing lanes required, collision avoidance, simulated head-on collision, curve, railroad crossing, actual and simulated, turning the fan or radio on or off. You're getting so much value. Give me a thumbs up. If you're here, give me a thumbs up. Hard work brings value. Hard work brings clues. I'm here to help you pass your test. Someone asked about the score. Listen, to obtain a passing score, you cannot accumulate more than 25. It varies from state to state. Turns. Recognize the need to turn in advance. Thank you. I appreciate you, Tommy. Means a lot. I won't let you down. Turns, to be sure, recognize the need when to turn the wheel. Either enter the turning lane at the designated time if traffic permits. Do not enter too early. A lot of beginners go into the lane too early or too late, and then you cross the line. Automatic failure. Thank you for the thumbs up. Check traffic in all directions. Look left, right, left. If you just joined, we're talking about our learning target, the road test. I'm a state certified driving instructor. How many times can you take the test? Once each day. They want you to take it once 24 hours, go over what you missed, and then take it again. Also, I'm going to put together another online practice test on driving with Myles on YouTube. I had one yesterday. I'm going to go over the results tonight. "100 feet, a half a block." That's when you want to have your signal on. 100 feet, a half a block. Less than that, not enough time. Later than that, you'll get marked down. Good question. Check the blind spot. Look over your shoulder. Turn your signal on safely. Listen, activate your turn signal approximately 100 feet. It's going to be late. I drive after class. I'm not sure, Jackson. Next, activate your turn signal approximately 100 feet of the turn, but do not enter early as to mislead others you are turning. Brake smoothly without jerking. If you're driving a manual, pushing that clutch, shift down. If you must stop before turning, yield to traffic and pedestrians. You will get a minus if you don't. Do not unnecessarily yield for turns. Yellow lights, green lights, signals. Come to a smooth, complete stop without skidding. Do not let your vehicle roll forward. So if you have a manual, push in that clutch, squeeze that brake. If you have an automatic, you don't have to shift gears. I know how to drive both. Do you? If you know how to drive a manual, put yes. If you stop behind another vehicle, the clutch does not make the car go faster. The gas pedal makes the car go faster. The clutch is a round disc that bolts to the flywheel and bolts to the bell housing. So the gas pedal makes the car go fast. Good question. But you have to be in the right gear. If you stop behind another vehicle, stop at a safe distance where you can see the rear of the tires. Our learning target. We're talking about the road test. I'm your state certified driving instructor. This is Driving with Myles. Our testing is in progress. I like the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I love the questions. I will be going on live at about 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Bye.